Welcome to this video, which is titled The Lantern Keeper's Secret: How Small Lights Dispel Great Darkness. This is the essence of Zen wisdom. High on a mountain pass, notorious for its sudden, blinding fogs that swallows travelers whole, lived an old woman named Hana. She wasn't a hermit in the traditional sense. Her small hut served as an unofficial way station. Below lay a valley often shrouded not just in mist, but in suspicion and old grievances between neighboring hamlets. Disputes over water rights, land boundaries, and perceived slights had festered for generations, creating a palpable fog of misunderstanding and resentment that chilled the air even on sunny days. A young earnest student named Kato, traveling to a distant monastery, became trapped by the fog near Hana's hut. Taking shelter, he observed the quiet tension when villagers from opposing sides occasionally sought refuge there. Their interactions clipped and wary. Grandmother, Kato asked Hana one evening, gesturing towards the valley veiled in both mist and mistrust. This darkness of ignorance, this refusal to see each other clearly, it feels so thick. How can it be possibly dispelled? It seems only a great sudden enlightenment could burn it away. Hana was polishing a small, simple paper lantern, its frame made of bamboo. She smiled, her eyes crinkling like an autumn leaves. Sudden enlightenment is rare, like a lightning strike, revealing the whole landscape for a second before plunging it back into darkness, she said softly. Most light arrives like the dawn, edge by edge. She lit the candle inside the lantern. Its glow was modest, pushing back the immediate gloom within the hut, but hardly challenging the vast darkness outside. Every evening, she explained, when the fog rolls in the thickest, I take this small light and place it just outside my door. It doesn't banish the fog from the past, nor does it solve the valley's quarrels. It simply offers a single point of warmth and direction for anyone lost nearby. Kato looked disappointed. But it is so small, grandmother. The darkness is so immense. Ah, Hana replied, her gaze steady. But watch. Sometimes a traveler sees this light and finds their way here. Say for a night, perhaps they share a tea with someone they would normally avoid. Sometimes seeing my small light reminds a villager heading back home to light their own porch lantern, making the path a little more safer for the next person. Light doesn't always need to conquer. Sometimes it simply needs to be there, consistently, where it is needed. She continued. The darkness you see isn't a solid thing. It's made up of countless shadows. A harsh word here, a withheld kindness there, a judgment clung to, a fear unspoken. You cannot fight the whole fog, but you can tend your own little lantern. My own lantern? Kato asked. Yes, Hana affirmed. Your attention, your willingness to listen without immediately judging. Your choice to speak with care, even when disagreeing. Your effort to understand why someone feels suspicion rather than just condemning the suspicion itself. Each act of mindful presence, of quiet compassion, of seeking clarity in your own mind and interactions, that is you tending your lantern. It doesn't instantly change the value, but changes the space immediately around you. And like my lantern on the path, sometimes that small, steady light is enough to help someone else to find their footing or perhaps inspire them to light their own. Kato sat in silence, watching the small flame flicker. He realized Hana wasn't talking about grand gestures, but about the persistent, humble offering of one's own clarity and warmth. Moment by moment, interaction by interaction. It wasn't about banishing the night. It was about faithfully keeping a small light burning within it, trusting that dawn will arrive. not all at once, but gradually, light by light. Now let us look at the process. Tending the lantern, a process of illuminating ignorance. Hana's story of the small lantern offers a profound practical guide to navigating the pervading darkness of ignorance, the misunderstandings, biases, fears, delusions that cloud both our inner world and our social interactions. It counters the desire for immediate, overwhelming solution with wisdom of gradual, consistent, and personally grounded action. Ignorance in this Zen perspective isn't just missing information. It is a fundamental obscuration caused by ego, attachment, and aversion. Bringing light means cultivating wisdom, compassion, and clarity. Here's a breakdown of the process illuminated by the story. Number one, recognizing the nature of darkness and light. Awareness. K2 initially perceived the valley's problem as an immense monolithic darkness. Hana reframed it as being composed of countless individual shadows. Just as the fog obscures rather than eliminates the landscape. Similarly, the first step is to recognize that ignorance isn't an external enemy to be vanquished, but a condition arising from specific, often subtle, internal, and interpersonal factors. Our own unexamined biases, reactive emotions, habitual judgments, societal conditioning, and failures in communication. Light, conversely, isn't a superpower, but a natural radiance of a clear present and compassionate mind. This awareness shifts the focus from blame or despair to mindful observation. Number two, starting with your own lantern, personal responsibility and focus. Hana didn't try to install floodlights across the pass. She tended her own little lantern. This is the crucial starting point. Taking responsibility for the quality of your own consciousness and actions before trying to fix the world or others. We must cultivate light within ourselves. This involves the following: introspection, examining our own thoughts, motivations, and reactions. Where do we harbor judgment, fear, or misunderstanding? Next, mindfulness, paying attention to the present moment without reactivity. This allows us to see situations more clearly, less distorted by the past conditioning or future anxieties. Next is cultivating virtues, intentionally practicing kindness, patience, generosity, and ethical conduct in our own daily lives. And number three, consistent, humble action, the power of small deeds. The lantern's light was small, its effect localized, yet Hana placed it out every evening. The power lies not in the grandeur of the act, but in its consistency and intention. Overcoming ignorance isn't about heroic one-off gestures, but about cumulative effect of countless small mindful actions. Next is listening fully, offering someone our undivided attention without planning our rebuttal is a profound act of illumination, cutting through the fog of assumptions. Next is speaking mindfully, choosing words carefully, aiming for clarity and kindness rather than winning an argument or venting frustrations. Next, acts of service, simple, genuine acts of help, of generosity, weave threads of connections and dispel the shadows of separation. Next is withholding judgment, consciously pausing the internal commentary and seeking to understand another person's perspective, even if we disagree with it. And number four, trusting the gradual process, patience and non-attachment. This is something which is very important. Kato wanted a quick fix, a sudden dawn. Hana emphasized the gradual nature of light's arrival, bringing light to deeply ingrained ignorance, personal or collective, takes time and patience. We must perform the actions, tend the lantern without attachment to immediate, large-scale results. Frustrations arise from expectations of a single lantern to do the work of the sun. The practice is a result. Finding peace and meaning in the consistent effort itself is the key. Trust that each small act of clarity and compassion contributes to a larger shift, even if unseen. Number 5, understanding. Interconnectedness and ripple effects, influence. Hana's lantern didn't directly solve the valley's problem, but it provided a point of reference, potentially inspiring others. Our inner state and actions inevitably ripple outwards. A calm presence can de escalate tension. A clear explanation can resolve misunderstanding. An act of kindness can soften a hardened heart. By tending our own lantern, cultivating inner peace and clarity and compassion, we naturally become a source of light for those around us. We don't force change upon others. Rather, our own transformation creates the conditions where positive change is more likely to occur, and inspiring others to tend their own light. Ultimately, in conclusion, I would like to say, dispelling the darkness of ignorance is an inside-out job. It begins with the commitment to cultivate our own inner light through mindful awareness and compassion and compassionate action, and then letting that light shine steadily and humbly right where we are. Like Hana's lantern, our individual efforts, consistently applied, contribute to the gradual dawn of understanding in ourselves and the world. This is what I wanted to communicate with you. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope, though this was a bit of a long video, it offers you a lot of points to consider of how you can play a very positive and confirmative role in building relationship in society.